Happy Thanksgiving, roomies! We love this holiday so much in the Naked Room that we decided to do a 15-minute shorty bonus episode just on our Thanksgiving loves, dislikes, all the things that we must need at the table for it to feel like a complete holiday. And in the show notes, we put out a request to call into our anonymous voicemail hotline. We asked for any great Thanksgiving stories from the past, or if you have something that you feel like the holiday is not complete unless you have it. We want to drop that voicemail in the episode today. So enjoy, have a wonderful holiday. We're sending you all the best.
Hey, Kelly and JL. I am calling from Charlottesville, Virginia, and I have a memory of Thanksgiving not too many years ago where all the family was together, which is always so wonderful, and we needed to make some whipped cream for our pies. So rather than getting the mixer out, we put everything in a bowl and passed the bowl around, and all the cousins took turns hand whipping the whipped cream. And it was just so much fun because everybody seemed to enjoy it. And when their arms got tired, they would just pass it along to the next cousin. And it's just always like stuck in my mind. And I can actually even just see everybody standing around and passing the bowl. But it was a lovely time and a great memory. And of course the pies were great and the whipped cream too. All right. Bye.
No dress code, no rules, just BYOU. It's time to tell society that it's a taboo. You can be the youest you here in the Naked Room.
Do you want to start off talking about what happened today?
I mean, sure. We're going to see if we can make it through this episode without me going into analytic shock. That's basically what's going on.
You're so dedicated, man.
I was having a little walkabout in the forest with my hounds, and out of nowhere I felt a bit of an intense sting on my bum. My initial reaction was that something prickly was stuck on my bum, and then I put my hand there, I didn't feel anything, and then I felt another sting, and another sting, and another sting. The dogs were following me, and then I realized the dogs also are kind of pawing at their face. So I get them in, I rush them inside to our little mudroom area, and then I see on the glass, not on the outside, but on the inside with us, there are about 6 or 7 hornets that have followed us in to the mudroom. So then I'm like, oh shit. So I get the dogs and myself and go into the bathroom to kind of close the door and separate us and just check them out and check myself out. And I take my pants down and realize that definitely bee stings. So anyway, we are about 45 minutes post sting, and I am feeling just ironically a little buzzy, but other than that,
yeah, she's gonna morph into a bee.
I'm turning into a hornet. I sustained probably like 8 stings, I think, and I think the dogs got a couple, but I did give them Benadryl. I, however, didn't take Benadryl because I'm supposed to teach a yoga class later today, so it felt like a
driving.
Yeah, and I gotta drive there, so
you might end up napping instead of yogaing. I don't want to go out past a certain time anymore.
Yeah, no. Oh my God. When we used to wait and be like
9:30, 10,
11 sometimes even. Like it's comical now to see anything. I remember my poor friend was having a birthday party in LA this last year, but before we moved, and I remember getting the invitation, and she's like, birthday party, we're meeting here, starts at 10.
No.
And not only did it start at 10, but I'm pretty sure it was like a random weekday, and I was just like, oh my God.
See,
no.
If I'm gonna go to that, I'm gonna have to go out to dinner first.
Yeah,
you gotta maybe go get a cocktail, something. There's got to be a whole production ahead of time too. Like typically for me, as long as I'm out by about 8ish, I'm fine. But if I prefer to go out earlier though. Like I actually love going and having a 5:30 dinner reservation because then you get home and it's maybe still light outside, depending on what time of the year it is. If it's November, it's already dark when you go out, but
it's true.
And I am a lot less likely to go out and do things and say yes to stuff most of the time when it gets dark earlier.
Yeah. My preferred, like, I mean, this is more so if like alcohol and cocktails are involved, like, oh, give me a brunch any day.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
basic
Midday.
AF because here's the deal. I've already gotten up. I've had enough time to kind of do the things I need to do around the house, enough time to like put together a little outfit, or maybe not. Maybe it's like a workout clothes situation where we can show up in our yoga leggings, whatever. Get there. I could have even skipped breakfast so that I can have like a real indulgent
Get that
feast.
extra pancake.
Get that extra pancake. I can like get the
With your eggs.
mimosas flowing. It's sunny out, which makes me happy. So I'm like feeling good from like satiating myself, from the booze, from the friendship, from everything. And then 3-4 o'clock rolls around and you're like, I'm done. I'm going home. You get in your PJs and like you're like already like it's just so great. It's glorious. I wake up the next day. I don't have a hangover because that kicked in at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So, like,
Oh my God. Oh my God. That one time when you and I went and got
Is this what we got?
bottomless mimosas. Okay, so let me paint the picture. We're in West Hollywood, where I was living at the time. And we went to, what was the name of that restaurant? It's not there
I
anymore.
don't know. Were we in our 20s, like late 20s? Or were we in our 30s?
Early, I was probably early 30s and you were probably like
20s and just
yeah.
23.
But I remember taking a selfie in one of the, like we took a reflection selfie or something. And I'm like, I can vividly remember like the outfit that I was wearing. Because I used to wear that outfit all the fucking time. My hair was still short. Anyway, we looked damn good.
Banging,
We looked damn good.
We walked all the time.
And we walked so far, but we got bottomless mimosas and then we walked like 2 miles or whatever it was, a mile and a half down to like the Beverly Center or something.
Yep.
And and we realized that we're supposed to meet our very, very pregnant friend later in the day for ice cream, like in a different neighborhood. And of course,
which we probably needed to Uber to.
Well, that was the whole point.
Exactly.
We were like, we're walking around, we're having a good old time. We need to get a car, and we realized that both of our phones are dead or are dying or something. So we had to go into another bar down near the Beverly Center and ask the bartender, this really nice guy who was very sweet to us, if we could use his phone charger or use a charger to plug in one of our phones because at this point we know our friend is sitting there
waiting for us
at Salt and Straw in Larchmont.
Oh God, that ice cream's so good.
It's so
That's
good.
what put her into labor.
And they're so enthusiastic about giving you samples that by the time you actually order, you've already had like a whole scoop of ice cream.
They like force it on you almost.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God, this is my favorite. I love the one with the pig blood. Yeah. There's like so many. Yeah.
That's so funny.
There's so many like weird.
So we've got dishwater and caviar in it.
Dishwater.
They're the weirdest flavors, but then you try them and you're like, fuck yes, this is delicious.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about whatever this one. I need to improv. I took improv for 6 months. It's gone.
It's gone. You lost it. We need to read. We should do a whole, Oliver would be into that. We got to start our own little improv troupe here.
Like, ooh, I love cherries and farts flavor.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. A hint of fox.
I will yes and you all day. Which, oh my God, I found out it was there's a little bit of trivia and now I'm like, I might butcher this. It was, who was the person who started Yes And? I'm going to have to do one of those. Did you see that? Did you see whatever that thing was that like gave the history of who started Yes And?
No, but I think they were, somebody was talking about it on the Armchair Expert, the podcast I love so much. They had a guest on recently who was talking about their shared improv experience because one of the hosts, Dax, like did improv as well. And I can't remember who the guest was or who the person was, but they referenced the person. They were like, yeah, they started Yes And. And they were like, what? Like,
it wasn't like, I was thinking it was like Abbott Costello kind of like
something,
but it wasn't. It's somebody else. Oh, she's got it. You and I went to see the movie, The Weapons, and it was in the previews where they were talking about the people who went, the
Oh my
directors
God,
who went
yes.
from
It was the guy who wrote
the birds.
was it Birds?
The
Yeah,
Birds.
because the guy who did Weapons was inspiration. Kind of feels
Your
like
phone
that.
just sounded like it farted.
It farted or it buzzed. God,
Buzzed.
PTSD.
Wow, it really did buzz.
Just make sure it's not Oliver, since I think I text him and told him what happened, and then he's probably trying to. Okay, he's fine. Then I'm like quiet and don't answer the phone. He thinks I'm dead.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say the thing.
Who's the director of the bird stuff? Holy shit. Okay. I'm gonna check.
Does it start with an A? Alfred Hitchcock?
Yes.
I did it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Alfred
you know what?
Hitchcock
It's the
was the one who started Yes and. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that that's right because I was going to say I'll have to go back in. Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred.
Alfred.
ALFERD. Alfred.
Hitchcock. Yes and. Let's see. Actually, no. No. But he was in. Okay.
It wasn't him who directed?
No, but he was in an improv group, I guess is what it was. I'm glad that I'm looking this up right now.
Group or something.
Yeah, yes, and also refers to yes and thinking. It's improvisational comedy, which we know. Okay, but
Who invented yes and?
Thank you. Who started it? Because I did do.
The coining the phrase hasn't famously been attributed to anyone. It is not formally referenced to in Viola Spolin's improvisation for the theater or Keith Johnstone's Impro, although both of them allude to similar concepts.
It does say AI an overview on Google is telling me the term yes and was created by improviser and writer Keith Johnstone.
Yeah. So I think
I think he must have that was cited. The director of Weapons was talking about in the preview at what's the name of the play at the Alamo Drafthouse? Yeah.
Which we have free popcorn and a free movie ticket to.
Yeah, so I'm going by myself to the movie and you're gonna go grab popcorn. Yeah. No, but he in the preview, they're talking about all of these actors and directors who changed their career and went from comedy into horror. So Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele, Alfred Hitchcock, the writer director of Weapons, whose name is escaping me right now, but it's really interesting, and it gave me one of those eureka moments where I was like, look at that career pivot. That's amazing.
I know, it is really cool.
I'm in the midst of, I left my job and I have been feeling like I've been staring down the unknown, but I know that there's something that I want to go towards. And now here we are doing this podcast, and I've been doing more LinkedIn lives and doing lives on Substack. And I'm like, this is what I feel pulled to.
I think it's so important to keep
using my voice
on that stuff too. Like as you're getting older, like I find a lot of comfort in looking up people who got like a late start in like whatever it is that they enjoy doing, you know, or whatever.
We talked about Vera Wang in a different episode.
Yeah, like anybody who, I think it's Martha Stewart's kind of one of them, like just people who, like either reinvented themselves or didn't even get successful at all until they were, you know, like way later.
Like society, especially in the U.S., more so in the U.S., let's hone in on the U.S. and the way, like the programming that we get from society that tells us that, and I was talking about this on my Substack live last night too.
Yeah.
We have this programming that we're supposed to be speeding up all the time, that we have to be achieving, that we have to be working really hard. If we don't work hard, then you won't achieve your goals. And the conversation is shifting a lot, but it's not the feeling that we have of putting this pressure on ourselves is not shifting as quickly as the conversation is.
Yeah.
So the more we talk about it and the more we change the programming and the messaging around it, the more we'll lean into this idea of kind of slowing down and going through a shift. But I don't know what social media started 25 years ago or something, maybe a little longer than that. And our minds and bodies as humans have not adapted to the speed at which we move or we're expected to move.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us feel bad about ourselves almost constantly.
I love that thing I saw the other day on like Instagram or something where it was like, sorry if I've like missed your call or not responded to your text. I'm living in a world, going at the speed that we're going, but in a body that's meant to be like eating berries in a cave. And I was like, I relate to that so much.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was telling you, I felt so like just kind of fucked up yesterday. Like I just felt so disconnected from like, and I don't know if it had to do with like some of our conversation and the podcast that we were recording, and or if it's just like,
sorry.
no, it's good. It's kind of good. Like I don't know. It feels like the wool gets taken off my face. Whatever like the expression is. I take the wool out of my eyeballs. Like, but I just feel like autumn does this to me a lot. Like I started writing.
Who is that bitch?
Who is that bitch? Autumn. But autumn does it to me. I think one, because it's my favorite season, and I probably also because I was born in autumn, so I'm sure there's some connection, like primally for me to it. And I want to be outside more, and I just feel more like, oh yeah, nature. Like this is like, I need to like be like rooted more in this. And so I was like kicking and screaming to all the things I had to do yesterday that took adulting. I had to go teach, and I was like driving there just like, I don't want to. And I got home and Oliver's like cooking something on the grill, and I just kind of like threw I wouldn't say purse, but if I'm being honest, it was a fanny pack. I threw my fanny pack down and I just kind of slumped and was like, all right, I adulted. I'm home. I went to the work and I did the job. I just felt so like a character in my own life or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And it was just weird. Like, I was like, I'm not meant to be doing this. And up until the moment I got stung by a handful of fucking hornets, I would say I'm meant outside. But then it's so funny because what do? I run into my beautiful air-conditioned shelter with my dogs, and I reach into my medicine cabinet for my, medicinal things I bought from a pharmacy that might help my butt not feel stingy and burny anymore. And use my cell phone to call my friend who's on her way so we can record a podcast. And like, just the reality checks are fucking with my head lately. I don't know. That's where I'm at seasonally.
Well, okay, here's how I feel about this.
Did that bring anything up for you?
Interesting, yeah, right? So it's funny that you bring up the conveniences and the technology. And I'm like, that's the thing. I think, okay, so both you and I are Libras, talking about being born in autumn and everything.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance.
For sure.
Of being able to utilize the things that exist now that make our lives easier, but then also unplugging and going back to basics in as many ways as we can.
Yeah. Not getting sucked into those conveniences like out of habit and only, utilizing them like, okay, it's great that Benadryl exists. Like antibiotics, things like that for sure. Like all that stuff is like, it's great that, we have that, but I don't know. I think that, and then I kind of get down on myself thinking about like how much time I have wasted not being in nature and like experiencing it. It's like, it's the same with like working out for me, where it's like, you are like, I don't want to do it. And then you go to the gym and you're like, I feel so good. And like you leave and you're like, I'm unstoppable. Like, and I feel like that where I like put down my phone or, whatever the things I feel like I need to do, fold the freaking laundry, like repair something in the house. I'm like, let me just go outside and walk with the dogs. And it's probably that combined energy too of like that. I know they're having a blast and like the breeze is blowing. It like smells so good. I'm just like, like how can we be out here doing this more often? And how did we get so far away from it?
I think, again, going back to balance.
Yeah.
If you can be as present as possible in those moments when you are outside and you are enjoying it, you'll appreciate it so much more when you don't have the time to be there.
It's true.
It's not reasonable for us to feel like we can stay in one moment forever or that we need to. And I think, oh, I'm having one of those like Oprah Eureka moments. No, I think we've talked about this before, just we, the royal we as a society, but you and I have touched on this theme, but you need the bad to appreciate the good. And I'm not saying that all of technology is bad or anything.
No, I know what you mean though. Yeah,
but
it's more
the up moments. You appreciate the up moments because of the down moments. You appreciate, like, if you're constantly just like living on this higher plane, or you're down here, or you're in the mid, like, you need all of the different
No, it's so
levels.
true. Especially like growing up in an area close to here, and like then, you know, at whatever age I was, 18, being like, I want to get out of here and go explore, and not feeling like I remember when I go out and I am able to kind of like rewild out here, how much I probably took it for granted when I was younger, because I did that all damn day. I would like leave the house and go out and like come back when it was dark and eat dinner. And it's so true. Like I'm now appreciating it so much because I was in, you know, for lack of better words, like a concrete jungle for, you know, like whatever time I was in.
I mean, you did have horse stables next to your life.
We did, yes. But
yeah, it's a big,
energetically,
it's
like,
a big area.
Yeah, it's a big area.
LA
like,
County.
I don't know. It's like there's something about, even when you're in those little pockets, at least for me personally, I still feel the buzz of the city that's so close to me, like in like a not great way. Like it feels like overwhelming to me.
I think that you are a highly sensitive personality.
Yeah.
You pick up on energies. It's funny because my mom's mom, who I bring up quite a bit,
Yeah,
she was very woo-woo about a lot of things. And I remember there was like a electricity box, like an electric box or something that was outside of her, whatever that was, like, you know how sometimes you see in neighborhoods, like the metal cover over it?
Yeah, transformer or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah, it was like on the ground. I don't know what it is, but
listen, electricians, if you're listening, like just ignore that.
Yeah, you don't
right term. Like, we're just girls.
Yeah. But she swore that she could feel the energy coming off of that, and she would like put copper around her room and stuff to try to offset.
I wish I could tap into her and ask her some advice.
Well, and so many people kind of laughed it off, and who knows, maybe it's psychosomatic, but even if it's not, if you feel, or even if it is, if you feel like you're doing something that kind of protects you from whatever is going on. I mean, you can go to the did you ever see Better Call Saul after Breaking Bad? So it's the
I know of it.
Saul Goodman.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever
Saul
watched
Goodman. It's all good, man. But his brother's character in the show is like wearing an aluminum foil hat. Like he's that type of he's that type of guy, and I'm like, you can go off the deep end a little bit.
That's why I have friends like you to like pull me back in if that happens.
It's a bad, and like
to be like, Jamila, maybe
I don't know, and I'll be nice about it too.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Yeah, but
I don't think I'm at tin hat like
no, you're
level yet, and I don't. I hope and knock on wood that I won't get to that point. But yeah, I am and have always felt really sensitive to energy. Like, and I don't mean like energy. Like, I don't know how to say. Like, I'm not super woo woo where I'm like, there's a disturbance in the force. Like, but I definitely feel like I'm very in tune with other people's just like energy.
Yeah.
I'm very in tune with, like that. It bothered me a lot because there's so much about the city that I enjoy, and that in small doses, like I appreciate and I understand, but personally, it sometimes almost pains me to be there because it just feels like whatever that chatter, that hum, that like vibration is, like doesn't ever stop. And I don't feel like I get a moment of like physical or emotional peace.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because this resonates with me very deeply. I feel very similarly to the way that you do. When we were living in our condo, constantly there were always loud sounds happening at random. Yeah. So like somebody would go by with their loud exhaust.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or
stereo system. Or
like the new American muscle cars were just like, my bandwidth for disruptions and noises was so tiny living there that any little thing would set me off.
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Eagle Rock on a residential street because we were in sharing walls. It was a very heavily like multi-unit, multi-family unit.
Yeah, all those stairs you had to go up, and they were like
that, but the whole street was
Mhm.
just it was just busy.
Yeah.
And that would have been true with any neighborhood if we're
Mhm.
living in a place where it's busy, except the West Hollywood neighborhood, it was still busy, but it didn't quite have that same effect on me. But when we moved into our place in Eagle Rock, we're on a street with single family homes. There's a park like diagonally across the street. Then there's the community garden that
Mhm.
I now have a bed in. It's night and day. So like before, if I would hear somebody use weed whacker, I would have been
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that I'm hearing a weed whacker." And now I do sometimes if I'm sitting on the front porch and just trying to read my book and I'm having a nice quiet moment and I hear birds chirping, all that, if I hear a disruption in that moment, I'll get a little irritated,
Yeah.
but I don't lose my complete peace over it in the way that I used to. So I think this is exactly the same thing that you're talking about, where if your bar is already at neutral,
Yeah.
you can handle something else that's a disruption. But if your bar is at a place where you're feeling buzzy already,
Mhm.
any other little thing is just gonna set you off so much more easily. So you're already
It's weird.
peaceful here.
It's very true, but then also, yes, and yes,
I mean, I
and
was projecting, like I was,
yeah.
it's me, this is my experience, but
No,
I
it
feel
makes
like that's what
sense,
you're
but
saying.
that's part of it, but then it's almost like a tier above that where we lived in Agora Hills wasn't there wasn't loud noise. It's like it was actually very quiet. Like we would hear, they would play like mariachi sometimes at the barn in the mornings and all these things that were very joyful sounds, but there's just something where it's like I felt physically a buzz. Like I just felt like I know just over the hill there's like a bunch of traffic on PCH and there's like just over the hill that way it's like hustle and bustle of, like those it was like even that removed from it, it was like I knew I like physically felt it. So even like I mean, yes, there wasn't like many, loud like police cars or something like where we were at. It's not like I would hear stuff like that. It was very quiet and very peaceful, but I was surprised too to kind of recognize after being there for a while, like I still know I'm in the city. Like I still know I'm in a big city. I just happen to be in this small little pocket up on this hill that's like further removed from it than when I first moved there. And I don't have the same feeling here, which is funny because we're still close to some big cities here.
I think it was just the awareness of you just didn't want to be in that circumstance anymore. You have your mind, you moved to Nantucket, very small, very confined, small space. You just don't have, you're like, I'm moving past this now. This is not the state of this is not the mental and physical space I want to be in anymore. Plus it almost, I'm sure it probably felt like going backwards a little bit too, because you had already left
Yeah,
LA.
it's tough. Like, being there and then like, the production industry having kind of like tanked a little in that moment and all that. So but again, it like kind of circles back to those like moments where we talk about being in tune with like what, like the older you get more in tune with what works for you and what doesn't. And I think that I needed to go to LA. I needed to like see what it was like. And I wouldn't know that affected me the way that it did if I hadn't gone. And honestly, if I hadn't gone, left, and then went back and realized again, oh yeah, this is why I didn't like it here. I don't like that feeling I have of like, even if I'm not in the thick of it, like, cause like you said, like I could go out, I went out a lot and like I could go out and be around it and like, and if I'm going to it to like celebrate or go see music or whatever, it's like that's different. But in my environment that I'm like in and living and trying to find peace, like I'm pretty sensitive.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot more people out there. There are some people who really do know that about themselves, but then I think there's a lot of people who aren't aware of what's going on within their bodies and the reactions that they're having.
Or it does feed them and they do feel really energized. You know, it's like that whatever differences they have, it's like they really do genuinely enjoy and find, you know, like not thrill, but they find like growth in that. Like
it feels expansive.
Exactly. Expansive is the word. Thank you.
And I think, I mean, I find myself being here back at home in Charlottesville for the time being. I find myself appreciating things about my home and my space and my area back in
Eagle Rock
in LA. Yeah. And I think I just wish, like, I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to split the time, you know?
Yeah, but the fact that I know you love like your coffee walks, like you can walk to a coffee, and that's like not something, I mean, you could do that here kind of, but
Eagle Rock is such a community too.
Yeah.
It's such a special place in LA and in Northeast LA. Northeast LA in general is just a very special place, and it's not busy in the way the rest of the like central Los Angeles feels, because it's kind of like here where I can get from one place to another within 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's not that much traffic there in general. And that has been a huge relief. That's been exactly the thing that you were talking about with getting away from. That's my version of getting away from the
hustle,
buzziness.
The buzziness.
Yeah. Because it just feels very accessible and approachable.
Exciting news here in the Naked Room. Our anonymous hotline is now live. You can call in and leave an anonymous voicemail with anything from confessions to things you loved about the podcast, things you hate about the podcast. Eventually, this will be a line where we will leave you a prompt at the end of each episode that you can then call in and discuss with us, and it may be featured on one of our future episodes. But for now, let it rip. Whatever you've got to say, we want to listen. That phone number is 213-537-9791. See you there. The Naked Room podcast is brought to you by hot coffee, cold showers, grit and determination, the power of being a woman.
We'd like to thank ourselves. This is a self-run operation. We have done all of this on our own, other than with the help of our hot sound guy, my husband, Curtis Keeper, who curated all of our equipment and got us up and running.
If you'd like to sponsor us, reach out.